And what is up, everybody? Welcome to Juice Opinions, episode 2. Now, this was borderline or Juice Response. Sorry, it was gonna be a Juice Opinions, and then I've been thinking about this video for probably a month now. I was just waiting until X came out and Fast Racing Neo, but yeah, it was gonna be a Juice Opinions, but actually the reason for the video was just probably the last few months I've been hearing numerous people basically just commenting and accepting the fact that 2015 is a lesser year for the Wii U than 2014 was. And obviously this is 100% opinion based. I'm not saying anyone's wrong. No one's actually wrong here. So I'm just going to give my opinion on why I think what I think about 2015 compared to 2014 as a Wii U owner. But it's a response to multiple people I've heard either in comments or in videos just say it casually, like it's just basically fact, and it's, there's no argument there. So I'm going to go kind of like game versus game, 2014 to 2015, and then I'm going to talk about 2015 as a whole for me personally, and why what I feel about it. I'm not going to spoil my thoughts on it just yet. But first, November was probably the worst release schedule Nintendo's ever had, as far as I can remember. Talked about it on one of my podcasts. No denying that. But a couple of lackluster bad games coming out in November doesn't really tarnish the whole year for me. And I didn't buy either Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival or Mario Tennis. So they don't really apply to my opinion of games. And this is games I've played and I've bought. It's not just, I'm not just making stuff up. So yeah, but I want to start. Anybody who feels that 2015 was poor, lackluster, or wasn't very good, I want you to ask yourself a few questions here. And then once you hear the questions, you'll understand where I'm going with this. First and foremost, did you buy Kirby and the Rainbow Curse? Did you buy Super Mario Maker? Did you buy Fatal Frame Made in Blackwater? Did you buy Yoshi's Woolly World? Did you buy Xenoblade Chronicles X? And did you buy Fast Racing Neo? Now, if you're one of those people that answered no to all these questions, then your opinion's irrelevant in my opinion. You actually have no ground to stand on if you didn't. I'm not sure there's going to be a person that answers no to all these, but I have a feeling I know at least one person who would say no to all those, who has said that this year's been bad. So I guess if you said no to a few of those, we'll talk about it. So let's go head to head. 2014 was a good year, was a great year for Wii U owners, for Nintendo fans. But I'm gonna say right now, I feel 2015 was equal to that, and I'm gonna go over it right here. A lot of people, Jamie Butterworth, I want to give a shout out to him. He had a video today, basically giving his game of the year, and he gave his thoughts on 2015. I left him comments that I completely disagreed with what he said, and he was like, "Well, you're not going to convince me," and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm just going to give my opinions." And I gave that video a thumbs up, even though I completely disagreed with it, because he gave reasons that were true to him. And he wasn't just there trying to do clickbait or anything. I don't look at YouTube like and dislike as an agree or disagree button. I almost wish they had a separate agree or disagree button, because I disagreed with what he said, but I gave his video a like because of the way he said it and presented his opinion. So go check that out. I see a lot of people were downvoting that, and I don't agree with that. I'm not one of those people that downvotes videos, but whatever. So let's start. A lot of people like to point out, last year we had Tropical Freeze, we had Mario Kart 8, Hyrule Warriors, Bayonetta 2, Smash Brothers. Like that's their proof that 2014 was way better than 2015. So let's start with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, my number 2 game of the year last year. Yoshi's Woolly World is every bit as good as Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on every level. It might even be a little bit better in some areas. Amazing controls, amazing visuals. I think the art style is actually better on Yoshi. Amazing music, a ridiculous amount of challenge, especially towards the end. Just a solid platformer, one of the better platformers I've played in a long time. Best Yoshi game by far, and I think they're equal. I don't think there's anything Donkey Kong does better than Yoshi, and actually Yoshi does a few things better where it comes to load times are almost non-existent, whereas in Donkey Kong there's long load time, and Yoshi's just, it's just, I don't know what to say. It's a better overall production. It feels more polished when it comes to just the like I said, booting up the game, restarting levels, and backing out to the main menu. Everything's quick with that game. So in that aspect, and it's a lot smaller file size for those that downloaded it. So I think those games are equal. If you like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and you didn't buy Yoshi's Woolly World, then you can't use Donkey Kong as your reason why 2014 was better, because those games are very similar to me. They run a very similar parallel, and I think they're both equally great. Next up is, the heavy hitter for 2014, the highest selling game on the Wii U, Mario Kart 8, my most played game on the Wii U. But just as a game as itself, I'm going to compare it to Splatoon. They came out the same time, 1 year apart, basically. And, Mario Kart 8 wins in the more to do offline category, the cups, the time trials, even though a lot of people don't even get into that. And Mario Kart has the tournament mode online, which really pretty much doubled its playtime for me. But Splatoon, I think, does everything Mario Kart does, especially with the online. If you're playing Splatoon by yourself, it can get a little boring and stuff. But when you get with a lobby full of friends, do the squads, it's really fun. The music is awesome. It's a new IP. It's really creative. It's really unique. And I think that's where Splatoon gets an edge, where Mario Kart 8, while it is the best Mario Kart that they've ever made, and the zero gravity adds a lot, it's very similar to past Mario Kart games, especially Mario Kart 7. So Splatoon is very unique, a new IP. It's a huge hit. People are still playing it all the time, and it's still getting new content. There's 2 new maps coming out. Again, I don't know if they're this year or next year, but still, just the amount of content we got. Mario Kart 8, we got DLC Pack 1 in 2014, which was really awesome. But I think the better DLC pack and the 200cc mode came in 2015, which is kind of a theme I'm gonna use with 2 of the bigger games from 2014. Is, yeah, they came out in 2014, but they became a lot better with additions in 2015, which is going to go at the end when I talk about just 2015 as a whole. But just straight up, Mario Kart 8 versus Splatoon, I give Mario Kart 8 just a slight nudge or notch above Splatoon, but I think overall the reaction, the online community, I think Splatoon is actually superior in that way. Because Mario Kart, some people just get bored of racing online over and over. I didn't, but I'll give Mario Kart just a little bit of an advantage there. So next up, we'll talk about Hyrule Warriors. It was my number 5 game of the year last year. It was basically because I only bought 6 games really that were notable, and it made the cut over Captain Toad. But I would compare that to a game like Fatal Frame, which doesn't play the same. It's not the same type of game. Made by the same people, though, I believe, or at least published. To me, Fatal Frame's the better game. It was more enjoyable. The combat mechanic with the camera obscura was really fresh and unique and really fun, and there was a lot of depth to it. Whereas Hyrule Warriors was just basically got boring was a button masher for me personally. I put like 37 hours into Hyrule Warriors. I put 45 hours into Fatal Frame. It was my big surprise game of the year, and I just love Fatal Frame. To me, it's way ahead of Hyrule Warriors. I know a lot of people will disagree, but this is, like I said, my opinion. But you can't deny, if you played Fatal Frame, if you only played like the prologue, that's kind of a quick, like a tutorial where you don't get to control the character. You got to start the second drop is called the second chapter, to really get into the combat. For me, Fatal Frame was a better game overall than Hyrule Warriors. Next up, my game of the year last year was Bayonetta 2. Love that game, still love it. So glad she's going to be in Smash Brothers. I'm so excited. But just taking it as just a quality game, My probably my game of the year top 2 game is Super Mario Maker. Now these are nothing alike, so it's hard to compare. But whereas Hyrule Warriors and Bayonetta 2 were kind of similar in their combos and their button mashing ways, I guess. 2015, I don't think there's a game that plays like the other that released in 2015. They're all different, so it's hard to line up these games. But I picked Mario Maker to go against Bayonetta 2 because I think Mario Maker is the reason to buy a Wii U, or the reason the gamepad exists. It's the best use of the gamepad. Fatal Frame's probably top 3 best use of the gamepad for me. Where Mario Maker, as a platforming fanatic, it's like a dream game for me. And I got about 108 hours in Mario Maker. I had 60 hours in a Bayonetta 2, 40 hours in a Bayonetta 1, so I had about 100 hours in that combined. But for me, Mario Maker is I just love that game even more. Like, I might be playing it 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and the online community is kind of tapering off, which sucks. But I can still just create levels and play them for myself and have fun that way. So for me, Mario Maker's a Hall of Fame game, system seller, and it's not quite up to like the gameplay and stuff of Bayonetta 2, but for me, as a level creator, Mario Maker succeeded. It's the only level creator I've ever played that I liked, and it's just a great game, and I mean, I love it. So next up, we'll talk about Smash Brothers, and that released in November. We didn't have a really good November game this year. I'm going to throw X against it. For me, Smash Brothers in 2014 was a decent game, was a fun game. I wasn't very good at it. I was still learning. I was kind of new to the Smash Brothers mechanics. And in 2014, it was just a good game to me. It was like number 4 on my list. Xenoblade Chronicles X was like a revelation to me. I'm not big into RPGs, but something about this game has sucked me in. I'm at 45 hours already, just over 2 weeks. I think the game's been out. Not even 2 weeks. And it's the most impressive game world I've ever seen, just far from a creative standpoint. Just all of the design elements that went into every little nook and cranny of these just huge continents, and it just never ceases to amaze me. Like Jamie Butterworth commented on this, the story wasn't anything compared to Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't play games for story, and I know that's probably stupid to say as for an RPG, but the story that's there has got me really intrigued and compelled. I finished chapter 6. I'm about to get my Skell license, and I mean, the story to me for video games isn't why I play video games. So I can't say I didn't play the first one extensively, but I was kind of bored with Shulk in the beginning, with kind of his mannerisms and stuff. I was just wanted to go out and explore. And in the beginning, there was a whole lot of cutscenes in Xenoblade Chronicles. I know that opens up once you get past that. But anyway, Smash Brothers in 2014 was a good game, and X in 2015 is an amazing game. It's top 2 game of the year for me. It's between Mario Maker and X. I love this game. It's a technical achievement. It's amazing, the minimal load times for the size of the game world. I love exploring, so I don't mind the side quests. I'm constantly taking side quests, and I love it. So for me, X is the equal or superior release in 2015 than Smash was in 2014. And then last but not least, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, one of my more disappointing games. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse just crushed that game. Comparing them head to head, Kirby used the gamepad really well when we playable without it. Art style amazing. The music's great. Everything about Kirby was. I mean, it's a great game. I gave it like an A or A minus, I think, in my review. Captain Toad was like a C minus. I just didn't get into Captain Toad, so just looking at the games head to head, with Kirby being ahead of Toad, X being ahead of Smash, Fatal Frame being way ahead of Hyrule Warriors, Mario Kart 8 was ahead of Splatoon, and Yoshi and Donkey Kong were about even. Bayonetta and Mario Maker about even for me. I got to give the edge just in those major games. To me, is 2015, but just barely. And then there's some indie games. Last year we had Shovel Knight, which everybody knows wasn't my favorite. Games like Affordable Space Adventures and Fast Racing Neo, even Typo Man's 1 hour length, still to me was more compelling than any of the indie games that I played in 2014. So let's get on to just 2015 as a whole. As a gamer, not looking at when the games came out, that's when Smash Brothers really started picking up for me. Was probably February 2015. I played most of Bayonetta 2 in 2015. January, I put in probably 30 hours in January. Then we got Mario Kart 8 DLC Pack 2 with the 200cc mode in like April. And we got like Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo was by himself in April. And then we got Ryu and Roy and Lucas in June. And now we have, in December, we got Cloud. So those games, to me, were made better in 2015. So I played Smash Brothers at like 50 hours in 2014. Obviously, it came out late, just like X. I put probably 115 hours into Smash this year, like 80 hours into Mario Kart 8 this year, plus 108 hours of Splatoon, 110 hours in Mario Maker, and 45 hours in Fatal Frame, 45 hours in X so far, 43 hours in Yoshi. Like, I've been playing the hell out of games in 2015. Affordable Space Adventures, like 10 hours. Fast Racing Neo, I got like 5 or 6. There was Freedom Planet, and just a bunch of great games. Kirby, 23 hours I had in Kirby. And it's been a great year. Yeah, you could say, well, some of those games you played were from 2014, but I wasn't playing them that much in 2014. Mario Kart 8 was obviously the only exception. I had over 100 hours into Mario Kart 8 in 2014, but that was it. I didn't have another game with 100 hours. So for me, this year, 2015 has been far more entertaining, with the games that released in 2015, plus the DLC pack for Mario Kart and the characters in Smash. Has really just made 2015 the best year in gaming that I can remember in a long, long time. And obviously 2016 will be even better because I'll have all those 2014 games, all the 2015 games, and the 2016 games like Star Fox and Zelda to be playing. It's a compounding thing. Every year a system gets better because there's more games, especially ones that have high replay value like Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 8, Splatoon, X. I don't know once I'm done if I'll go back, but I could honestly see 150 to 200 hours in that game. Most of it's going to come in 2016. So yeah, that's basically how I feel about it. Yeah, everyone's different. There's going to be people that absolutely hated Fatal Frame, or like Red Knight. He played Mario Maker for a month and then he just got bored with it. That's his opinion. There's no, like I said, right or wrong here. This is just my opinion, why I feel 2015 was a slightly better year for games, that released, and just a way better year just for me, my enjoyment of playing video games. I had the last 2 months, I had over 90 hours each month on my Wii U, and I don't do Hulu and Netflix on my Wii U anymore like I had to in the past years. That was my reason to turn it on for not the main reason, but a lot of the reason was to go to Hulu or to go to Netflix. I don't do that anymore. I don't barely go to the internet browser anymore. I'm just too busy playing the video games that came out. So do yourself a favor. If you think 2015 wasn't great and you have a Wii U and you didn't buy Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, you haven't bought Yoshi or Xenoblade, go check those games out. I mean, Super Mario Maker, I mean, if you're not into platformers, obviously you don't do that, or Yoshi, but try Fatal Frame, try the free to start. Who cares that it's digital? And I didn't mention, Devil's Third because I'm not getting it, but some people seem to be enjoying it. So it's just the enjoyment's what, obviously your tastes, the games you like. If you have other systems, you might, let's say played The Witcher 3 or Fallout 4, you might have had some better experiences outside of the Wii U, but if you have a Wii U and you haven't picked up what I think are some of the better games, top 3 games for me might be Fatal Frame, Xenoblade, and Super Mario Maker. That might be my top 3 for this year. I'm still debating because it's a close top 5 for me this year, but I'll do that video in January, get everybody's take. But yeah, that's my reasons why I think 2015 was a better year. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree, and that's fine. I'm not here to say I'm right, you're wrong. So this is just my take, my opinion, and it's a response to just multiple people, including Jamie Butterworth, who said that 2015 wasn't that great of a year for them. So, it's okay to disagree, and I hope you respect my opinion, as I respect most people's opinions. As long as someone just doesn't say something stupid and they're just trolling or whatever. If you can give your opinion and give good reasons and give reasons why, and that's why I like being on YouTube and stuff, is the discussion, and that's why I do my podcast, so we can talk. Don't always have to agree. Like I said, Red Knight disagrees about a few games this year that I love, Fatal Frame and Mario Maker, and many other people disagree that like Kirby's good, or like Fatal Frame, just like with Red Knight. So yeah, that's going to be it. I don't think I have any questions or anything. Here's one that popped up. He's just saying, what's up, Juice? Just dropping in to say, great topic. I feel like this year I played more because I have a backlog and my wife is hooked on Splatoon. For a lot of people, Splatoon is far superior to Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart was the first big, huge title to hit Wii U, in my opinion, and it had, the amazing visuals, and it was kind of bragging rights because the game looked so good. I know some gamers, that's a big motivation for them. But this year you get hooked on Splatoon, and then Mario Maker comes out for me, and then I don't play Splatoon anymore, and that followed that with Yoshi and Fatal Frame, and then Mario Maker and Splatoon are just gone off my radar, and then X comes out, and now all those games are gone, and yet I still play Smash Brothers. So it's just one of those things. I think there's been more high quality, like long lasting titles come out this year, and it's up for debate, but that's my personal opinion. So that's going to be it for this Juice Responds. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave me your comments. How do you feel about 2015? Feel free to do a response video if you're a YouTuber, and link it to me. I'll watch it. So with that, we'll see you guys in the next video.